The next match is basically boxer versus wrestler, but get this, they got boxing rounds and body slams are allowed. Oh, what?
Oh, wait, so it's boxing with body slams? That's like saying we're playing chess, but also you can flip the board and call it checkmate whenever you feel like it. Just pick a sport and stick to it, please.
It's boxing with a surprise wrestling twist, like a Cracker Jack box, but instead of a toy, the prize is confusion.
And then there's Larry Zbyszko. He's not even wearing traditional boxing gloves. He's rocking karate gloves. What the hell's up with that?
Karate gloves in a boxing match? Come on, Larry, this isn't a martial arts demo. You can't body slam someone while you're trying to lace up your dignity.
It's like he's trying to combine every combat sport into one match. What's next? A sumo suit and fencing swords.
Now, Ken wrestles with Scott LeDoux, Minnesota's favorite boxer. So apparently he had some real notoriety in the 1970s, sparring with Muhammad Ali, which drew a record crowd in April of '76, fighting Dwayne Bobick, and became a big name in Minnesota's combat sports scene.
And then he went from fighting in the ring to running a sports bar and bartending. Got to respect the hustle. But man, going from Ali to Larry Zbyszko in boxing karate gloves land is one wild career arc.
He even did some AWA appearances as a wrestler and referee later on. Minnesota loved the guy, and the AWA sure kept him busy.
But the problem with these boxing and wrestling matches, you can't sell working punches and make it look like a real boxing match. It's just impossible. But let's see if this one's as messy as it sounds, or if it somehow lands in the so bad it's good category.
Yeah, there's no way to fake it convincingly. It's like trying to sell a microwaved frozen pizza as authentic Italian cuisine. Everyone's going to know it's not the real thing.
Exactly. If you're going to mix boxing and wrestling, at least make it make sense. Right now, it's just two guys awkwardly pretending to figure out the rules as they go. It's like he's trying to combine every combat sport into one match. What's next? A sumo suit and fencing swords. Why don't wrestling and boxing mix well when it comes to punches?
Because it's hard to sell a working punch when it looks like the guy throwing it just graduated from the air guitar school of combat.
Seriously, nothing screams, "This is fake," louder than a punch that misses by a foot but still gets a big sell. It's like shadow boxing, but with worse choreography.
So here comes Larry Zbyszko with Go the Ninja. You know, sometimes I wish he'd take his own advice and go. Probably somewhere far, far away.
Yeah, he can go anywhere he wants as long as it's not back to my locker room.
Remember that time Larry was messing around with nunchucks in the AWA locker room? And you walked in and asked, "What the heck are those?"
Yeah, I remember. He told me they were a deadly martial arts weapon, and I just about took off running down the hallway like I'd seen Santa Claus delivering steel cage matches.
Promoters were always looking for something special back then, you know, something to create a spark, especially for national attention. But that's newer than ninja weapons.
The next thing you know, Larry's walking around in shiny karate jackets and ninjas are popping out of nowhere like they're on call. That's when Larry decided to add another dimension to his character. Sure, Larry, because what you really needed was more sparkle and ninjutsu.
Let's be honest, Larry realized that if he was in danger of losing a match, he could just hide behind a ninja or whip out those nunchucks. They were basically his Swiss Army knife, a weapon for matches, and a crowd-clearing device when he needed to escape an arena.
Seriously, Larry? It's not 1972 anymore. You don't have to use nunchucks to part a sea of fans. Just shut the hell up and wrestle already.
I mean, he probably thought the ninja thing was genius, but now it's like watching someone try to bring a water gun to WrestleMania. Funny at first, but you're not fooling anyone.
And now we've got boxing gloves, karate gloves, ninjas, and nunchucks all in one match. What's next, Joe? A flaming sword and a tag team of pirates.
Honestly, I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, this is the AWA we're talking about, because anything's possible when you have run out of good ideas.
Then Larry's new persona started to take shape when he decided to demonstrate just how nasty those nunchucks could be. Armed with his imagination and a bag full of coconuts of all things, he made his way to the set.
Because Nothing terrifies an opponent quite like a guy waging war on produce. Next stop, a steel cage match with a watermelon. That ought to be a gusher.
With the help of AWA producer Polish Joe Chupik, they set up a stand and teed up a coconut like they were prepping for a golf tournament.
Yeah, because nothing screams deadly martial artist like turning your promo into a driving range at a luau.
After 2 minutes of hyping himself up, Larry smashed the coconut with his nunchucks to show what he planned to do.
Oh, shatter isn't even the right word. This thing exploded like a hand grenade. Coconut bits everywhere.
Apparently Larry wasn't just a wrestler, he was also the world's first ninja demolition expert. Good thing Nick's head isn't filled with coconut water.
At this point, the only thing Larry proved is that if wrestling doesn't work out, he's got a bright future breaking piñatas at kids' parties.
But Larry called it martial arts mastery. Bonkwinkle called it terrifying. And the cameraman? He's just calling it a waste of perfectly good fruit.
It's safe to say Larry's nunchucks were less deadly martial arts and more DIY blunt object. He probably got them at a flea market between matches.
And if the nunchucks couldn't get you, Larry figured the ninja would. But actually there were 3 ninjas, the deadly trio. First up was Mr. Go, directly from Japan.
And Mr. Go was a nice guy, but he didn't speak much English, so he and Larry didn't have much to say to each other.
Yeah, their entire partnership was basically Larry nodding and Mr. Go nodding back. Proof that you don't need words to form a deadly alliance. Just nunchucks, awkward silence, and some vague sense of shared purpose.
But after a few months, Mr. Go lived up to his name. He got up and went.
Yes, Larry learned the hard way. When you hire a guy named Go, don't expect him to stick around too long.
Yeah, Mr. Go didn't just go, he ghosted. Larry probably looked around and thought, well, that's one less ninja to split the paycheck with.
My dad didn't waste any time importing another Japanese wrestler, a 22-year-old, 6 feet 5 inches, 280-pounder named Howard. They dubbed him the Super Ninja. And Howard, he thought it was the greatest thing since Saki.
Yeah, just because when I think deadly ninja, I immediately picture a guy named Howard. He's built like a sumo wrestler and about as stealthy as a marching band.
Larry tried to help Howard out in the business, but then Howard got a crush on Sherry Martel. After dating her for a couple of months, Howard went from 280 pounds to 230 pounds, just like that.
And apparently dating Sherry wasn't just a relationship, it was a crash diet. Who needs a treadmill when you've got heartbreak cardio?
So by the time he was done, Howard wasn't the super ninja. He was the slightly less super ninja.
And then just like Mr. Go, Howard disappeared, followed the ninja tradition, and ghosted us.
Turns out the only real ninja skill they all mastered was the art of disappearing. Maybe my dad should have just called them the Vanishing Ninjas.
But Vern wasn't giving up on that ninja gimmick. This time, he developed a homegrown ninja, Steve Olszanowski.
Yep, imagine that. A Polish ninja. I guess if Japan could export ninjas, Minnesota could homegrow one, complete with pierogi power.
What's next, Vern? A Swiss samurai? A Danish dragon? The world of AWA just keeps getting, even more clever.
A Polish ninja. Because nothing says silent assassin like a guy named Steve who probably makes kielbasa disappear faster than his enemies.
But Steve was actually a good friend of Larry Zbyszko's, and they spent a lot of time together in the AWA. They even played a lot of golf together. Can you imagine Larry and a ninja hitting the links? Sounds like the setup for a sitcom.
Sometimes they'd even share a round with Jesse Ventura and ex-baseball player Paul Siebert. And when Jesse became governor, he joked about naming the island hole at Edinburgh Golf Course Larryland.
Larryland is the perfect name. Just like Larry, that hole's famous for making people throw their clubs in frustration. Now, Scott LeDoux was brought in as a no-nonsense, take-no-crap kind of guy. It was a perfect setup for a novelty match. Even though Scott seemed easygoing, Larry made sure to rile him up.
Oh, absolutely. After 2 months of calling him canvas back and one-shot LeDoux, Larry had Scott ready to punch him in the mouth. And let's be real, Larry was tasting that hate from the crowd like it was a gourmet meal.
But the funniest part of the whole build-up, Steve Olszewski trying to be a ninja and doing karate moves in the background.
Well, he didn't look ready to take down an opponent. He looked like he was trying to shoo a bee out of the room with interpretive dance.
Or maybe auditioning for a karate movie filmed entirely in slow motion.
And here's where it gets even better. They're gearing up for this European boxing rules match. 10 2-minute rounds, 60-second rest periods between each.
Because what's a wrestling crowd's favorite thing? Watching people take extended breaks during a fight. Nothing says excitement like rest periods.
And to top it off, Scott LeDoux was brought down to the ring by former Minnesota Viking bench warmer Bob Lurtsema, who Larry immediately referred to him as bench warmer Bob.
Classic Larry. Never misses a chance to throw shade, even if the guy escorting his opponent could probably bench press him without breaking a sweat.
I mean, if the trash talk wasn't entertaining enough, Steve the Polish Ninja's moves really sealed the deal. This wasn't just a match, it was a whole comedy sketch with boxing gloves.
Because, yeah, nothing says intimidating entourage like a guy whose claim to fame is keeping the bench warm and the Gatorade cold. Truly, bench warmer Bob is the backbone of any ninja-led operation.
Attention, please. Bob Lurtsema, report to the bench.
Oh my gosh, it's game time.
And let's talk about the special guest referee, Larry Hennig. He looks less like an official and more like a medieval king who got lost on his way to a Renaissance fair, but decided, you know what, I'll try modern fashion for a change.
Okay? When the bell sounds, Zbyszko charges in like a bat out of hell, but he gets absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, LeDoux puts out the left jab, they tie up, and then, boom, a full Nelson from LeDoux, and the crowd is actually into it.
Larry gets out of it, takes a clean left, and then staggers through the ropes right to the floor in front of our table. His hair is like swinging everywhere, like he's auditioning for a slow-mo shampoo ad.
If wrestling doesn't work out, at least Larry has a backup career as the poster boy for windblown wrestler Chic. Someone get him a hairspray endorsement.
Meanwhile, Scott is jabbing away at Larry, who steps onto the apron to get some space. Of course, the crowd boos him for trying to dodge the fight. Classic Zbyszko, ducking for cover when things heat up.
Back in the ring, Larry gets a single leg, picks Scott up, rides him, and takes his back. The bell sounds, and the round ends with Zbyszko just holding on. It's like Larry decided, hey, I'll just go full rodeo mode and see where this ride takes me.
Yeah, Zbyszko riding out the round like he's in the finals of Pro Wrestling Equestrian. I got to say, this match is shaping up to be something. Not sure what yet, but definitely something.
It was less wrestling and more like Larry mistook Scott for a mechanical bull. All he needed was a crowd counting how long he could hold on.
Exactly. Somebody grab a stopwatch. We're about $1 away from calling this the rodeo match of the year.
Round 2 kicks off and Larry Zbyszko immediately goes to a knee. LeDoux answers him, but Larry sneaks in a spinning back kick to the gut and locks in a half Nelson. LeDoux, though, picks him up and plants him in the corner.
LeDoux elbows Larry, sending him to the deck to dodge a big right hand. And I gotta say, Larry's evasive moves are looking a lot less like wrestling, but more looks like he's trying to dodge traffic on a busy highway.
LeDoux gets on the apron and gives chase, stepping into an arm drag, which he actually takes pretty well. But then he starts punching from his back, loses a glove, and casually puts it back on. I mean, we've all seen wardrobe malfunctions, but this is the first time I've seen someone fix one mid-match and just keep going.
Larry lights him up in the corner, beats him down, and hits a power slam. Then he lays on him and locks in a front headlock. The bell rings, and Larry's just unloading on LeDoux while he covers up. Honestly, this round was all Larry. He used his takedown skills to pull ahead, no question about it.
And now referee Larry Hennig's expecting Scott LeDoux's eye, selling it like he just found the lost Ark of the Covenant. I mean, the guy's fought 8 former world champions. He's probably more familiar with black eyes than anyone else in the building.
If there's one thing LeDoux knows, it's how to take a punch. And by the looks of it, He's taken enough to be an honorary punching bag at this point.
Round 3 starts and Larry lunges for the eyes. Classic Zbyszko. Then he nails a shoulder breaker on LeDoux and follows it up with a back heel kick on the ropes, giving LeDoux a bit of whiplash. And what does Larry do next? Goes right back to the eyes, of course.
Larry hits a low single, locks in a front headlock, and suddenly Henning's laying in a count like it's a boxing knockdown. I mean, I don't get it. Did someone hand him the wrong rule book before the match started?
At this point, Henning's counting like he's refereeing a completely different sport. What's next? A yellow card for excessive hugging.
Whatever's happening, one thing's for sure. This is the most chaotic mix of wrestling, boxing, and whatever Larry Zbyszko thinks he's doing that I've seen in years.
I don't get it either. Maybe Hennig thought, hey, a count's a count. Wrestling, boxing, or counting sheep, I'm getting paid the same.
Honestly, with how confusing this match is, counting sheep might be the most productive option.
The bell sounds, and both of them are still on their feet. Another good round for Larry. He's really leaning on his wrestling to throw LeDoux off his game. But let's be honest, he's surviving more than thriving.
One's ever knocked Scott LeDoux out.
Meanwhile, in between rounds, Larry Nelson proudly declares that no one's ever knocked out Scott LeDoux. I mean, if the guy can eat punches from 8 former world champions, well then dodging Larry Zbyszko's punches probably feels more like a warm-up.
Exactly. It's like surviving a tornado and then being asked to handle a strong breeze. Nothing impressive about it.
Round 4 begins and Larry misses a kick. That's when LeDoux absolutely snaps. He's going wild with the punches now. A flurry of right hands and Larry's grabbing at his eyes like he just lost his contacts.
Well, LeDoux's got him in the corner, smashing him with body shots like he's auditioning for the lead role in Rocky VIII, the AWA edition. He even bounces Larry's face off the turnbuckle like it owes him money.
And then LeDoux hauls Larry up for a body slam, and Larry's just standing there with his arm out, doing absolutely nothing. What's he even going for here? The world's slowest game of freeze tag.
Larry stumbles into the corner, and now he's just a sitting duck. Now LeDoux is unloading on him like he's working a heavy bag at the gym.
What's the deal here? Are they going to let Larry get punched until he passes away? This is starting to look less like a wrestling match and more like a live tutorial on how to tenderize a wrestler.
At this rate, Larry's not going to the locker room after this. He's going straight to the butcher shop. Tomorrow, he's waking up as ground beef. The problem with this boxing match is simple. Where's the visible timer? Where's the clock winding down on the screen?
Exactly. That timing is everything. It's what builds up the tension, the drama, and without it, we're just sitting here wondering if this round will end before the heat death of the universe.
Right now, this match has all the suspense of a microwave with no countdown display. At this rate, the audience is timing the match by checking their watches or, their patience.
Larry gets smashed into the corner again, and LeDoux is going back to the body shots over and over. Then LeDoux throws a massive right, and Larry goes down as the bell sounds.
Wait, what? Larry Hennig, the referee, just forgot he's supposed to count knockdowns? But instead, he's just walking around waving his arms like he's directing traffic at rush hour.
At this point, he's less of a referee and more of a guy trying to flag down a taxi. Is there anyone in this match who actually remembers the rules?
And now we enter the final round, round 5. LeDoux storms out, punches a dazed Larry out of the ring, and Larry immediately goes for the eyes. Classic Zbyszko. He rams LeDoux into the post, and then suddenly the bell sounds, just like that.
Oh, come on! We can't even have a proper finish in a boxing match? A DQ? In boxing? What's next? Calling a timeout for excessive sweating?
They're treating the rules like suggestions on a restaurant menu. Just pick and choose what you feel like enforcing today. It's a joke.
LeDoux is selling his shoulder now, his left arm dangling like it's gone completely dead. Meanwhile, Larry blindsides him, and Hennig grabs Go the Ninja, trying to push him back.
I mean, Larry Hennig, who can barely stand on his own 2 feet, is someone still wrangling Go the Ninja. It's like watching a banged-up security guard trying to break up a food fight.
This whole thing has gone completely off the rails. It's less boxing, less wrestling, and more of an uncoordinated mess. And to think, I probably thought this was a great idea on paper.
Honestly, this match isn't ending with a winner. It's ending with everyone, including the audience, losing a little bit of dignity. Welcome to the AWA, folks.
Nah, it's more like watching a guy trying to herd a cat while wearing roller skates. awkward, it's a little sad, but somehow effective.
Somehow effective? That's generous. Larry's out here flailing nunchucks at LeDoux, and Hennig's just had enough. He blasts Go the Ninja and Larry out of the ring, raises Scott's hand, and calls it a day.
So in 12 minutes and 19 seconds, Scott LeDoux is declared the winner over Larry Zbyszko by disqualification here at Wrestle Rock. And honestly, at this point, why are we even surprised?
But what's more pathetic is that Wrestle Rock 86 already has 6 matches ending in disqualifications. 6!
They might as well rebrand this thing to Wrestle Rock, the disqualification derby. And at least then it'd sound intentional.
For a grade, I'm going to give this a C-. I mean, I liked it, but let's not kid ourselves. This wasn't great. As usual, we had no idea why these two were even fighting because the announcer spent the whole time telling us how the AWA is a national company. Yeah, we get it, but how about sprinkling in a storyline or two? Just a little context, please.
Exactly. That said, the match wasn't all bad. It had some fast-paced moments, which saved it from being a complete disaster. I mean, this had been a straight boxing match, though we'd probably still been waiting for Larry to throw a punch. Thankfully, those random drop kicks kept things moving.
But the post-match chaos, now that's where it got interesting. LeDoux looks like he's ready to murder Larry, and honestly, who can blame him? The fans are finally into it, and then bam, out of nowhere, the Ninja jumps Scott, and Hennig, who barely refereed the match, decides to make the save.
Why does Larry Hennig get involved? Who knows? Maybe he's just tired of watching this circus unfold and wants to wrap it up himself.
And of course, LeDoux demands a rematch. Sure, why not? After this mess, we're all just rubbernecking at this car crash of a show. It's not great, but hey, it's hard to look away.
At least LeDoux got the win, though I don't know if he should celebrate or just start preparing for whatever nonsense comes next. Welcome to Wrestle Rock, where the only thing consistent is the confusion.